What's going on, everyone? John Rittinger from Techno Buffalo here with an unboxing I am really excited about. Inside of this box is a custom built just for us and designed by me, Moto X Pure Edition. I designed it using Moto Maker. Pretty big box here actually for the new Moto X. Not much on it, just big and all sealed. The Moto X has been one of our favorite phones ever since it was first announced a few years ago, and hopefully this current iteration is going to continue that. Let's go ahead and bring in just the ridiculously unnecessary. I'm for sure gonna cut off an appendage knife and cut this sucker open. What used to be considered budget phones isn't really true anymore, but lower cost, high performance Android phones are becoming really common. The Moto X is the latest entry into that really crowded market that's being inhabited by the OnePlus 2. Go ahead and pull off the top. I have not seen one of these yet in person. You can see what color we designed. And there is our Moto X with the Techno Buffalo logo. We got the red leather back. It's got a bit of a texture to it with a pretty cool, should be gold looking accents on the back and the side. And we picked the white on the front. On the front, I should mention, is a 5.7 inch display. It's TFT. And they've gone QHD here, so 2560 by 1440, which means it's got a 515 PPI. I'll go through all the specs later, but let me show you what else is going to come inside the box. If you can see the Techno Buffalo name emblazoned there on the bottom. Looks really nice. Push that off real fast. What else are you going to have inside of the box? We have handcrafted, letting you know it's Horween leather, Pure Edition, README, and that other stuff, which we're probably not going to read. SIM removal tool here for removing SIMs. A little Pure Edition piece of cardboard. Here is Motorola's quick charging, which supposedly charges the fastest in the industry, and it should with the power brick that big. And it's attached. It's on a separate cord, it looks like. Let's see if it is attached or not. So if you're traveling and you want to take advantage of fast charging, you're going to need to take this with you. Yeah, it is attached. And it does use micro USB, no USB-C here. It looks like we've got a, kind of interesting, we've got a case that comes with it, a bumper case that'll go on the phone. So, hey, that chips with it. Protect your device. Push all that stuff off to the side. That's not why you're here. Let's rip off this plastic and power this guy on. Get that satisfying noise. Oh, new phone smell. I still love me some new phone smell. So I'm gonna go ahead and power this guy on and I'll walk you through the specs. All right, so we've got the phone all booted up, and right off the bat, this is the best screen I've ever seen on a Motorola device, and you'd expect that with the resolution. So it's running Android 5.1.1 at launch, but Motorola has been really good about getting updates. So hopefully we will see Marshmallow on here shortly after its launch. So powering this guy is a 1.8 hexa-core Qualcomm Snapdragon 808 chip, so should be plenty of speed here. 3 gigs of RAM. Depending on how you want to configure it, either 16, 32, or 64 gigs of storage. And before you get upset about 16 gigs of storage, there is a micro SD card slot here, up to 128 gigs. So really credit to Motorola for including that while most others are abandoning it. Motorola spent a lot of time talking about that camera. Motorola cameras have not been the best, and Motorola kind of acknowledged that. The Nexus 6 certainly doesn't have the best camera. The previous generation Moto X's were not known for their camera prowess. Motorola claims this is best in class, and it's a new 21 megapixel sensor. On the front, we've got a 5 megapixel sensor that now has an LED flash next to it, which is a kind of cool addition. All the other stuff you'd expect, 802.11, ABG, and NAC, plus MIMO technology, a Bluetooth 4.0, a 3000 milliamp hour battery, and it does have NFC, which I feel I need to mention now. But one of the coolest things I think about the Moto X Pure Edition is that it'll work with any carrier, at least in the US, and pretty much any carrier in the world. Whether you want to go to Sprint or Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile, pop in your SIM, you are good to go with LTE, so a lot of credit. If you're not familiar with Motorola devices, essentially what you get is stock Android with some really cool apps on top of it, and the apps stand alone, so the OS itself can be upgraded pretty close to whenever Google pushes a code out. So if I wave my hand in front of it, I get access to notifications. If I had any here, I don't. You tap and hold, you can see what would be there, and I could drag up if I had mail or something. Let's go ahead and just unlock the device and take a look at what we're going to have inside. So again, stock Android here through and through with a few additions. So Moto's own Moto app helps make it yours. You can have a custom call word instead of saying, okay Google. You can be like, hey Moto X, and it could do stuff for you. A lot of features for driving as well. Know when you're moving. And I'll read your text messages out loud to you. a lot of other really nice software additions we'll dive into when we do the full review. Let me walk you around the phone. So we don't have any physical home, back, or menu or multitasking buttons. So they're all soft and built onto the screen. You can see them right there. On the left, there's nothing there. On the right, volume rocker up and down, and above that, there's a textured power unlock button. It looks really nice and feels nice. On the top, 3.5mm headset jack, where your SIM and micro SD card slot are going to live. The back, you can get a ton of different colors, leather, or wood options. We opted for the leather. Again, that's where the 21 megapixel sensor is with the two-tone LED flash. A bit of a dimple, which Motorola has become known for resting your finger on it when you're holding it. It does feel really nice. There's micro USB for quick charging. Again, you got to use Motorola's own very large power brick to make that happen. It's turbo power is what they are calling it. Noise canceling mics abound on this guy. A battery is not removable, but again, it is 3,000 milliamp hours. So in addition to some software settings, Motorola also built in some cool gestures. So things like do a little twist motion, will launch the camera for you, which is nice. And I believe if memory serves me correctly, do a little karate chop, we'll turn on the flashlight. Chop. And it did turn it on in case you, want to take your dog out at night and want to make sure you can see where you're going. Go ahead and turn that flashlight off there. So a lot of cool additions built right in to the phone. We'll cover a ton more when we do the full review. I want to give you guys just a real quick first look, hands-on and unboxing at the brand new Moto X Pure Edition. Anything you guys want us to cover, be sure to let us know in the comments. Till next time, John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo. See you guys next video. Bye-bye.